Welcome everyone to episode 212 on base here today at the studio, and it's Steve Wood and Barry Fair here. Welcome to you, nearly 20 to 10 here. Now this time last week we were leaving for OPSM, which we'll tell you about today, and the marvelous block radio that I've got here too, so that's all coming up on the show today. And here now, doing a fine job looking after me while Rhoda's absent. Good morning, Steve Wood. Welcome to episode 212 this week.
Good morning, Barry. Morning, viewers. Yeah, here we are, 212. Only caught up with 211 yesterday. Good to see Barry out and about down in Manly. And today I think we're going to be a bit more relaxing today, Barry, keeping warm in the studio.
Yeah, well, speaking of cold weather, today's temperature is 16 degrees. My word, it is cold. Here's my upsider for his opening sequence.
It's funny, Barry. You see, 16 degrees to me isn't cold. Because I come from the UK, where it's often, this time of year would be 2 or 3 degrees. So that's really cold. But it's funny how I've got colder the longer I've lived in Australia, Barry.
Well, let's recap on last week's show. We left here before 10 o'clock in our van. Well, we had to swap vans because the van which we were booked to take had a flat battery. Here's my outsider to tell you about it.
That's right. So we were given the small van, and which had been in repair actually for a couple of weeks. So I think we were the first to use it after repair. And as Barry says, we get out there absolutely dead as a doorman. So we had to switch to the bigger, newer van. All good in the end.
And we parked in the Audi car park and went through the car park to OPSM. Here's my outside.
That's right. So we had a little wander through the car park. All good. All very wheelchair accessible, Barry. Good little drive. Made it to OPSM just in time.
And Steve was in there now. My left eye, as you can see, okay, it's shutting again. Okay, so we're going to do something about it. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, so Barry's got a referral to go and see an eye specialist about his lazy shutting left eye. See if we can get something done.
And then after we left OPSM, we went to Big W and I brought a clock radio and it was $4. Here's my upside.
Well, Barry, it wasn't $4. It was $24. Barry had a $20 gift voucher left over from his birthday. So it only cost Barry $4.
So
what a bargain.
What a bargain. And then after we left Big W, back through the car park to the Audi car park, and funnily enough, it was a nice day, and then we headed to the Belrose Super Centre where we had a chicken schnitzel salad. Well, I had it with salad and salt and pepper. Here's my offside.
That's right, off we headed for Barry's lunch of choice last week, which was in fact Subway. So which reminds me, we must think about lunch today. So Barry had a very nice chicken schnitzel sub on. I think you had the brown rye bread, didn't you, Barry?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, very healthy brown rye bread. Great choice, Barry. Likes to look after his digestion. Good choice.
and then after Subway, our last appointment of the day was the head office.
Oh yeah.
And we fiddled, the OTs fiddled around and they did something with my chair and we're still waiting for the funding for this chair. And let me tell you, NDIS, it's an absolute joke. Here's my offside.
Yeah. Poor Barry had his chair approved. The OT did all the justification and the report, I think November or December, and still waiting for Barry's new chair. 6 months later. Joke.
Absolute joke. So, like, I think the OTs were a bit annoyed about that. Let us tell you about that. Here's my offside.
Yeah, both of the OTs were very annoyed that they were having to try and fit bits of foam into Barry's chair, which is essentially disintegrated, to try and give him some relief from the pain it's causing him down his lower back. So, yeah, we did quite a lot of in and out of the chair with different bits of foam to try and build the back up, to give Barry some sort of comfort.
So which leads us to very nicely to committing to appointments, which we'll talk about now. Okay? Before you go to an appointment, we've said this many times on the program, have everything prepared but the kitchen sink. Here's my offside.
That's right, make sure you take everything you need and everything you think you might need with you. Get it all ready in plenty of time, Barry. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
So what we did was we made sure that we had a bus booked and everything, which we did. So I didn't have to waste money on taxis, and we made sure that we had enough diesel in there to achieve the task. Here's my offside.
That's right, so we booked the bus out for the day, got it all, make sure that we had everything with Barry that he needed, all his paperwork, documentation, stuff for the day before we left.
And don't realise, oh no, I've left something behind. Because once you get halfway to your destination, it is too late to turn back. If you've heard the song, it's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. There you go, there's a bit of humour for you on the show. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry, do all your preparation, give yourself plenty of time.
So, even the night before, if you need money for the day, ask the managers for it.
Yeah.
Here's my offside.
Don't forget your money. If you want to buy lunch or any unexpected eventuality, so be prepared, like a Boy Scout.
It is no good turning up with half the goods. Here's my offside.
That's right, you can't turn up with no money or no paperwork or no idea what you're doing there. Make sure you got everything you need.
So, it is important, ladies and gentlemen, to be responsible. Here's my offside.
That's right, you're responsible for your appointments and you're responsible for getting there on time with all the things that you need.
And make sure that you confirm your appointment as well, and make sure that you've got the right time. Here's my offside.
Yeah, so before you go, make sure you have told people that you're coming and you know exactly what time you've got to be there and get there in plenty of time.
So another rule, Steve, and I would like to give to you on the show is don't just not don't just not turn up. Have a good valid reason. Here's my offside.
Yeah, not turning up is very poor Joe. So and disrespectful. So if you're not going to go and you can't make it, let people know in plenty of time.
And make sure that you phone the place where your appointment was supposed to take place and let them know that you are sick or you've double booked. Here's my offside.
That's right. It doesn't matter what the reason is if you're not making it, as long as you tell people that you can't make it. That's the important thing.
So don't just not turn up, guys. Please be considerate of other people. Here's my offside.
That's right. It's not just you that is at fault. You're going to upset somebody else because you've done a disrespectful thing.
So if you know that you are not able to make it, please do give the people a call. Here's my offside.
That's right. So make sure you've got the phone number of wherever it is you're going, just in case anything happens on the way and you need to call them to apologise for being late or not turning up.
So if I was sick on the day of my appointment, I would say I am unable to make it today. Can we reschedule another day and time? Here's my offside.
That's right. So always, give them plenty of time and always rebook for a different time. That's right.
So for example, if I didn't ring up, I could have let the person down. Here's my offside.
That's right. It's always very poor show to let people down. Yeah.
So the rule is commit to your appointments. Here's my offside.
Commit to your appointments, be on time would be my number one rule, Barry. A bit of a time. Be on time.
And another rule, be honest with the person who you are seeing at your appointment. Here's my offside.
Yeah, if you're going to go and tell somebody, what your problem is, tell them exactly what the problem is. Don't tell fibbies.
Or why did we call them?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my offside.
That's right. So be absolutely honest with the people you're having your appointment. That's right.
So it's no point going to an appointment and telling absolute lies. Here's my offside.
That's right. It's very difficult to do, Barry. I couldn't do that. You want to tell the truth?
So here's an example, okay? When I went to OPFM, I told them exactly what the problem was. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. You told them how long you'd had your left eye problem, how long it had been going on for, and told them everything you knew about it to try and help you.
And instead of telling porcupines, which is another word for lies, okay, I told the truth. Now most of you can't see my left eye, but I think Steve can.
Yeah. Looks a bit better today, Barry. Is it a bit better today?
Bit better, but
Still closing?
still closing, as you can see.
Yeah. A little bit, Barry,
Yeah, so.
Anyway, you're going to get to speak to someone about it, Barry, and hopefully get someone to look at it, see if they can offer some possible solution.
Yeah, so that's the truth. The truth of the matter, guys, is telling the truth and nothing but. Is my offside.
That's right. It's like being a court of law, Barry, isn't it? Always tell the truth.
And don't assume that you've that you know everything. Well, don't assume that you've got everything, and then you suddenly look in your bag and think, oh no, where's the sling? I've left it at home. And then someone's got to drive back and get it. Here's my offside.
That's right. Barry's very good at remembering everything because he gets everything ready the night before, which is great advice.
And like before we left the Super Centre last week, I worked out with Steve. I said, no, don't drive back down and leave me at the appointment. Let's go back and get the medication.
That's right, Barry, yeah.
Here's my offside.
That's right. So we went out without Barry's afternoon meds. And Barry suggested we go home and get them on the way to CPA. That's what we did. We came home from the super centre, picked up Barry's meds, then carried on the appointment in plenty of time.
And we arrived back here at 4 o'clock, just in time for the evening meal. And we've got an evening meal suggestion coming up today on the show for you. So that was a recap of last week's show. And now on to today's show. You're watching episode 212, and today's show starts now.